Loud. Shrill.
Mellow. Thin.
Happy.
Energetic.
Tired.
Uncertain.
Definite.
Weak.
Powerful.
So what were we doing just there with our voices? Well, our voice and your voice, it's so rich in that it's able to convey so much about you, your character, how you're feeling. Your voice can be powerful. And I like this quote by a Diana Hardy that backs that up. She says, "It only takes one voice at the right pitch to start an avalanche."
That's quite scary.
It sounds, yeah.
Less inspiring and
Don't
more
bring someone
scary.
with a shrill voice up on the
Don't
mountain.
bring
with
me
you.
to a
Okay.
mountain.
All right, I shall go alone.
I will very likely trigger an avalanche of emotions and of snow. Or how about this quote, actually? I like this one by American writer, poet, and civil rights activist Maya Angelou. Words mean more than what is set down on paper. It takes the human voice to infuse them with deeper meaning. So, are you using your voice optimally and effectively to your advantage?
Well, we hope you are, and if you are unsure, well, stay tuned because time now to help you learn how you can power up your voice. And lending voice to this subject of developing a powerful voice is our guest, Cynthia Zhai. And Cynthia's a voice coach, author of Influence Through Voice. And she's also written a chapter on voice and presence in a compilation titled Unleash Your Voice. Time to unleash Cynthia's voice. Cynthia, welcome to cna938.
Hi, Stanley and Andrea. I'm very happy to be here.
And we are happy to have you with us today, Cynthia. Now, a voice, which is somewhat an audible one, is something that almost all of us have, but we often don't think much about it, except maybe when we lose our voice and then we wish we have our voice back. But, now what can our listeners know about how important it is, how important our voice is, both professionally as well as personally?
So the voice, we can have great messages, but the moment we open our mouths to speak, then people are either going to decide to listen to us or they don't want to listen to us. Because the voice conveys your credibility, your confidence, and your trustworthiness. And that's the reason that a lot of my clients, that they realize, other people, they're saying the same things, but they have a powerful voice and they were heard, they get promoted. So that's how important a person's voice is.
Right, and when we're talking about powerful voices, it's not just volume levels, right?
That's right. So the powerful voice, one is, of course, the confidence, whether people can hear the confidence in your voice. And the second one is credibility. So a lot of my clients, male clients, they said, I want to sound like Morgan Freeman.
He's the voice of God, apparently.
Yes.
So, I said, what do you like about his voice? And they said, because he sounds very credible, very trustworthy. Whatever he sells, I'll just buy.
Oh, no wonder people get scammed, okay.
So the confidence, the credibility are important in a person's voice.
Absolutely, and I think it's something you and I, Stanley, have to have a bit of. I think when we present on air.
Yeah.
Now, Cynthia, the voice we have been given is, fortunately or unfortunately, what we're stuck with.
I'm sorry, Kermit the Frog. Yeah.
I'm sorry to my mom.
Oh.
They're always complaining I'm very loud and I don't know how to turn down my volume. It's like a fingerprint, right? It's like a unique identifier. So here's a question that I personally want to ask. Can people change the voice that they are born with?
The answer is yes. So we don't have to stuck with the voice that we were born with. And we can change the voice that we were born with and without changing who we are.
Okay. How does that work then? How do I change my natural voice and still be me?
So for example, if a person speaks with a very soft voice or a very high-pitched voice, or for some of my clients, low-pitched voice, so these can all be changed. Like, for example, your voice can be stronger, your voice can have the right pitch. And one of the examples is Margaret Thatcher, the former British Prime Minister. She actually changed her voice. So the research has shown that she was able to drop almost half an octave in her pitch.
Wow, half an octave.
That's right. Which helped her to sound more credible and more respected.
Right. But would it actually be a strain to your vocal cords if that's not your normal tone, the one that you usually be, using to speak naturally?
So when we are working on the voice or so-called changing the voice, we are doing exactly reducing the strain on the vocal cords.
Ah.
So we are using more of the body to help you generate more sound. And when you're able to do that, then the voice will not have any strain on the vocal cords.
Right. So by body, do you mean things like controlling the diaphragm?
Posture,
Posture,
gestures.
Right. I'm adjusting my posture as I'm asking this
Eyebrows.
question.
I better sit up as well.
Oh, eyebrows as well, did you say?
Diaphragm.
A diaphragm. Okay, yeah, the diaphragm. I mean, it would be quite amazing if we could control our voice with eyebrows, but
No,
maybe not.
but talking about eyebrows, I guess it's like the voice. You can shape them.
That's true, and it frames who you are, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so here's another question that I'm curious about. Why does, and I struggle with this as a presenter. Stanley knows this. Stanley knows I hate listening to my own voice.
Likewise. Me. I like your voice. I'm saying
Fine,
about
Stanley,
me. I'm
fine.
saying,
I'll
talking
quit
about
tomorrow.
myself. Yeah, no.
So, I want to ask, why does the voice in a recording sound different from the one that we hear in our head, like when we're speaking to people?
And when you're playing back your voice, right?
Yes, so for us, Stanley and I, or well, for me at least, yeah, for both of us, when we hear our voices back in the recording, it's like, we get
In
cringe, we
in the early
cringe.
days. Yeah, in the early days.
Yeah, we cringe and we're like, I don't really
Is that
like it.
me?
Yeah, is that me? So why does it sound different from when we are speaking like face to face, for example?
Yes. So the first thing is that people want to understand voice is vibration. And if it's vibration, it needs medium to be heard. And when we are speaking in our head, the voice we heard is vibrating in the head, which is bones, liquid.
Ah, okay.
That's the medium. And when we're recording our voice, the medium is air.
Right.
And also how others hear us. So I often talk to my clients. I said, if you want to know how terrible you sound to others, record and listen to your voice.
That's a surefire way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you are a voice coach, Cynthia, so you have people coming to you and probably presenting all sorts of problems and complaining about how they sound, such like. What are some of the common problems that you hear from them?
The biggest one is people always say to me, oh, Cynthia, I speak very fast. I think that also has to do with our fast-paced society. So almost everyone is speaking very fast.
Time is money.
You know. So that's one biggest problem. And the other one, of course, is the voice too soft. And so when they want to project in a bigger meeting room and they realize they couldn't, or they end up shouting, which they don't like.
Oh.
Yes. So the third most common problems would be, for example, a monotone. And they realize that when they're speaking, especially presenting, some of my clients said, I notice people are yawning. Am I that boring?
Oh
Okay, so yeah, these would be very common issues, I assume. We have heard some of these ourselves as well. And I guess given the nature of our work, we also try to improve over time as well.
Absolutely,
Right? I mean,
yeah.
we get feedback and we're able to listen to others around
yeah.
us.
And I think
we try to improve.
listening to one another also helps us improve in our work, especially when it comes to presenting. So I remember you mentioning, Cynthia, the kinds of people, the clients that you have and what they look
Yes.
for, and they tend to be, I suppose, leaders, managers who need to do a lot of presenting. But besides them, what other groups of people come to you for voice improvement?
Yes. So the first other groups would be salespeople, because they want to sound more credible, more trustworthy to their potential clients. So that's one group. And then the others, they not necessarily presenting, but they need to speak in meetings. And they realize that whenever they speak something, either no one noticed that they spoke, or that people just disregarded what they have spoken. So most of the times they said, it was me who brought up the idea, but then someone else speak with a more powerful voice, and they took the credit.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
these
definitely
are
don't
the
want it.
common groups.
Yeah, don't want that to happen as well. All right, so we've heard a little bit of how perhaps we can improve our voice. You talk about posture and breathing, and then let's talk about breathing for a while as well. Breath
Sure.
control, breathing, and that is an important support for our voice. But can you tell us about breathing, how it affects our voice?
Sure. So I always say to my clients that the secret to your voice is in the air. The air represents breath. So the secret to the voice is in the breath. So first of all, breath powers our voice. So the quality of your voice is determined by the quality of your breath. And that's why that we need to improve the breath. Unfortunately, that most people are not breathing fully, are not breathing properly. So that's actually one potential area they can develop. And that's one reason that voice is very important. And the other reason is, you see, when we are speaking, we're supposed to express appropriate emotions. And most people didn't realize that the emotions we express are also being reflected in the breath.
Ah. Okay, yeah, that's actually the second point really drives home for me, because I realize that when I don't, especially when we wear masks now and you don't see facial expressions, sometimes the command in your voice can really sort of convey the emotion that you're feeling, even though you didn't mean to portray that feeling. It's just how you're feeling at that time. I wanted to ask something about to follow up on that question about breath. Would exercising then, regular exercise, be an important contributing factor to us learning to regulate our breath and therefore having better control of our voice?
Lung capacity as well, maybe
Yeah.
going swimming, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember. I think there's a Filipina celebrity, Lea Salonga. Her father used to train her voice and vocal capacity through swimming, through holding her breath in the pool. So is that something that we should consider when trying to learn how to manage, regulate our breath and therefore our voice?
If they're good at swimming, they can try that. I'm not good at swimming.
Oh dear, but there are exercises, of course. Regular exercise definitely helps.
Yes, so there are two things they can do. The very first one is very simple. It's so simple that most of my clients believe whether it will work. That's also the paradox.
Tell us.
So the exercise is to sigh. We take breath in and then we do.
Okay. I actually
So
feel
when we-
calmer.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. So when we are sighing, one is we are sighing out a lot of tension. Two is, as Andrea felt, that it is calmer.
I
And-
actually see this benefit when you do yoga, right? At the start of a yoga class, they make you take lots of deep breathing exercises
Exhale.
to put your mind in the right state. So is that what we're
Yes.
achieving?
Yes, that's right.
All right. Okay.
And then sighing also tells us that voice projection should not use any effort.
Oh, that's requiring minimal effort from me because I'm naturally
Yes.
Loud.
loud. Okay.
So that's one exercise they
Okay.
can do, which is to sigh, especially when they're nervous.
Yes. Especially when you're nervous, because then because when you're nervous, your tension and your body sort of seizes up,
Yeah.
and then
Yes,
sighing
and the
sort of-
voice, the voice
Okay.
tends to go trembling.
All right, so apart from sighing, maybe just leave us one more tip on what we can do.
Sure.
Hopefully, we're not also
Yes.
telling people like, I've got to do this presentation.
So that would be the breathing exercise. And so the breathing exercise they need to do, first of all, they want to remember that the proper breathing, when you breathe in, you should see the tummy comes out. Breathe in, tummy comes out. Breathing out, tummy goes in.
Okay.
So that's the proper way of breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. And to make that breathing a habit, one exercise I ask my clients to do is Kung Fu breathing.
Kung Fu breathing.
Yes.
Let's channel a bit of Bruce Lee. So how do we do Kung Fu breathing?
Yeah. So Kung Fu breathing, we can start from breathing out, which is the tummy needs to go in. And we are going to intentionally push stomach going in, and you will sound like this. And then,
Breathe.
and then the inhalation will be natural, so you should see the stomach, the tummy comes out.
Oh, right. So it's the reverse of the second exercise that you were telling us about in a way.
So it's not exactly reverse.
Okay. So you just push it in first and then you inhale and then let it out. Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, some useful tips there on vocal exercises and also breathing exercises and techniques. Cynthia Zhai is our guest on Money Mind today. She is a voice coach and author. If you'd like to get to know her and her coaching practice, do visit her website while Andrea breathes heavily at www.powerfulexecutivevoice.com. Andrea, you can exhale now. All right, Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your insights on this matter.
Sure, thank you.